And just like that, we back. Y'all, this has been the most consistent I have been with these live streams ever since I started, since the inception. But we're here for another live stream Monday. It's a hot Monday. The Grammys was yesterday. I was gonna be basic and talk about Kendrick, but I'm not gonna talk about that only because I just feel like it wasn't really nothing. I'm not gonna say special that he did, but it wasn't nothing I felt like was really noteworthy and for the topics that I go for. But I hope everybody's Monday is good. What's about to say? Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today. I had a really pretty busy day today, and I said I was gonna save it for the podcast, like when it dropped. But I'm gonna give a snippet now when I say this. If you're looking for a job, don't use Indeed. Use Monster. Okay. Don't use Indeed. Use Monster. I have another guest today, another podcaster. Somebody else that I actually met at Podfest and been in contact with still. He has a nice podcast. He talks a lot of, well, you'll see it on the wall when he gets on here. You'll see the word, but he's a very entertaining person. He has a lot of unique perspectives, but that's good for especially a show like this because this is somebody who I feel like gonna bring it out of me today. I mean, the template there, but they're gonna bring it to life. So let me go ahead and introduce him and let's get going. My God, what's going on?
What's going on with you, man?
How you doing? How was your day?
The day was wonderful, man. It's just life and living in life, man. Really, that's all it's been.
Life and living in life. All right, so tell the people what's your name, where you're from, and then tell them where you live now.
All right, so two things. Live in South Florida. And podcast is called Real Shit Let's Talk Podcast. You know what I'm saying? And I'm JR. You know how we do. And so, I'm getting on these live streams, man. This is really new for me. Like, I think this is like the second or third one, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. I'm trying to make sure the light is good because I don't like being dark. There it is. I think there it is. I'm just gonna do it like that.
Cool. And then people can kind of get just a brief description of what your podcast is about. Like, is it interview based? Is it just you? What are you doing?
So it is interview based. It's live in person. It's where authenticity meets center stage. It's where people come and be their true authentic self. We have the real and raw and unfiltered conversations that drives the message out to my audience to get their perspective or to jog their mindset to think differently.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so and where can they? Well, we'll do that at the end. All right, so we have three great topics today. The first topic we're going to talk about is one that really struck me because it kind of somebody said in the comments of the video we're going to watch. It reminds them of a Boondocks episode, but we know that recently Don Julio has done a collab with Popeyes. So now with this, I have made, as I said on my Canva art, I said Don Julio and Popeyes target the blacks. So now we're going to watch a quick video. We're not going to watch the whole thing because it's 11 minutes long, but just a quick excerpt of the video. Popeyes and Don Julio got the hood going crazy. It's from a YouTuber. His name is Peaks100. So let me share my screen and let's get to watching this so we can kind of get a glimpse of what it's like because this is only in, I think New Orleans. It's not nowhere else.
Why not? You think? You respect that? Show me that. I did. You possess. Still got you. I got you. I got you. Are you gonna sell out to anything? So I got to down and get one, huh? Well, you in the house, so your chances are better. So, man, thank you. This is a big day. Damn, y'all, I ain't gonna lie. Niggas going crazy for this week. It was good, bro. How you feeling? Good, dog? Thank you, dog. You want to get here for this? We gotta get right for this. Hey, bro. I can't remember for this, bro. Come on. Go 7 a.m. We doing it the right way in the Popeyes building, of course, for sure. I mean, I hope the way. Oh, okay. Doing all right, thank you. Everybody trying to tap down. Cool. So what brings you out to Popeyes today?
I mean, somebody.
You gonna get that Don Julio?
I'm just getting a chicken sandwich. Yeah.
Damn, so he's not even here for the Don Julio.
What's the
Like a normal Popeyes chicken sandwich, but a little bit sweet. The bun soft as hell. The chicken juicy, but it's so good. After the small though, so like 4 bites on the lump. I don't get no Don Julio though. I don't know what they're doing on. They take the Don Julio chicken. Mount people not.
And we're gonna stop it there. I can't take it. All right. Let's get to the banner first. What does this have to do with mental health? So I'll start it off. So as we know, the definition of mental health is the study of how we act, think, and feel. We saw everybody in there. Now, he's not the only YouTuber that went for that, I'm sure. But this is the one I found. And we saw everybody in there was majority was black folks. And we know how marketing works. We know how collaborations work. So I'm going to ask you your honest opinion. Do you think this was catered specifically for black folks? You muted.
I'm going to say 50-50.
Why 50 yes and why 50 no?
Okay, the 50 no is because it feels like it could be targeted to people who drink, who are alcoholics, or who like to just, hey, I'm gonna go get this real quick. I already got the bottle. I just need something quick. I need a little snack. So it's like finding something that can target certain demographics. So you don't want to just limit it to just black people. Because if, like you said, we saw the white guy, he's like, oh, I'm just in here for da-da-da. He already knew what time it was. And his jacket was dirty. So he looked, you know what I'm saying? So, it was like, yo, did you really just come in here with a dirty jacket just to get this Don Julio Popeyes joint? Yeah. Okay, cool. You like it, I love it, man.
I don't think he was coming for the Don Julio. I think he was just coming to get a regular chicken sandwich. He just was like, oh, I'm just hungry. So I don't think he came for the event. I think he said, I'm just coming to get regular food. I ain't come for all that.
But then he got a little, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he got more bang for his buck. He was like, oh shit, I hit the gold mine today. You feel me? That panhandling worked out.
But here's the thing. So do you think, like I said, don't get it twisted. I like watching ghetto stuff. I do, right? Mm-hmm. And like that video, it was funny and it was definitely ghetto, but ghetto in a good way. However, do you think that it was pushing a negative narrative? Like, Buddy, he a YouTuber, but Buddy walking around pouring Don Julio in people's cups. Then he eat his chicken sandwich. Somebody was like, I don't taste no Don Julio on it, and pour Don Julio on his sandwich. And that's why I said I had enough.
I mean, okay, because people like dumb shit. Let's just say
yeah.
And if he is a big YouTuber, then he's got to increase like the the concept and make people be like, yo, see, I get the wildest things. I do this. It's kind of like when a dude talk to a girl, man, hey, she bad. She did it. He's got to hype it up as if it was the best thing in the world, and it's probably nasty. It's probably like, I felt like the Don Julio aspect that came from it. It wasn't really just for it wasn't like it was a big hype about it, but it didn't really. I wouldn't have probably bought it. Would you bought it?
Probably.
Oh, okay, yeah, you just want to try shit.
Do you not like Popeyes like that?
I like Popeyes like that, but I don't eat fast food like that. Like I worked on proportioning how I do things. Like I don't eat beef or pork.
Okay.
And it's been like 10 years. But at the end of the day, it's not to say I wouldn't 3-piece and a biscuit, hell yeah. Red beans and rice, hell yeah. Like I tear that shit down. Like, you know what I'm saying? On, as they say, your cheat day. Okay. Hell yeah. So I would have tried like they chicken sandwich, bust it down. Oh, you got Don Julio on there too? Yeah, I'm busting it down. You know what I'm saying? That I'm not gonna say that I would not have tried it, but at the hype of it, it's kind of like what did they do? they had something new that popped up, the ghost wings and all this other stuff at Popeyes. I didn't go get it when it came out. I didn't go get it when they started putting out chicken sandwiches. I had to wait till either somebody got sick, we hear about it in the news, somebody done died, the fights that broke out that when they was trying to get all the chicken sandwiches and stuff like that, and people being shot over chicken sandwiches because of the sauce or because of the way that the narrative of it was painted, you know, that this is the ultimate best chicken sandwich, better than Chick-fil-A. I waited till all that man digress. Then I went, okay, let me try it. Cool. It was good. Oh, let me get them ghost wings. It was good.
Well, I like the ghost wings. I ain't gonna hold you.
Hey, facts with the ranch though.
But okay, so let's go to the next segment because, like I said, I think that I get the point of creating good content and doing things for comedic value, but sometimes I feel like I'm for it, but sometimes it's like, could you go too far? And like I said, that's why we're gonna argue both sides of the ball. But let's get into the next segment, which is WWID and what would I do in this situation?
Okay.
So I'll see. We're gonna do grows and glows. So I mean, I don't think nothing is wrong with what he did because if that's his type of content, then it is what it is. But sometimes I feel like it's somebody somewhere was counting on that nigga to act just like that. Like, yeah, go get that chicken, and go put that Don Julio on it. Yeah, dude, just like that. Because it make me think of Who Shot Tyrone.
Okay, I get
and
you.
That's the vibes I get. Even if you go as far back as the movie Undercover Brother, which is on Stars right now. But if you go watch Undercover Brother, and they had the General's chicken, and they was putting stuff in the chicken to control the people. And remember when Popeyes had them chicken sandwiches all them years ago, everybody was losing their mind.
Yeah, a person got shot over a chicken sandwich.
So you know it's something in there that got people doing that because it ain't just the hype. Don't get it twisted. They was good. But, you know, on New Year's Eve, they had it to where you could get two of them for like $8, and I did it. But it was like they lasted for like 5 days. It was like the New Year's Eve recovery pack or something.
Facts. And they got your money.
And
that's
it was
what
great.
it is. That's the art. The art of sale is to create something like a scarcity or something, a sense of urgency, which is, they say, a call to action right then and there. And so I believe it is something in the chicken. I ain't gonna lie to you. All I got to do is put one hormone in there, or some type of steroidal thing in there. Shit, you might be 80 years old. You might have a new pinky toe. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, you might have something growing in the back of your neck. I don't know.
But the point that I'm making is, we as content creators cannot we can't do anything for clicks and views. And again, when I say that about this situation, I'm not necessarily attacking Peace. I'm just saying in general, I'm extracting the situation out of it just in general, because I do feel like sometimes people do anything for clicks and views, and they'll play a stereotype, or they'll and hype up something with the intent of like, okay, you know, and like I said, you playing into a stereotype, even if that's how you act. But then somebody might flip it and say, well, what if, why would I try to act like something I'm not, if this is how I act normally, and now I'm trying to, like, you know, soften it up, or, you know, dress it up just because I don't want to play a stereotype, but this is who I am.
Yeah, I definitely agree. What would I do in that situation as well, boss? I probably would have got it too. No, I probably would have got it, and I probably wouldn't have bought the Don Julio, but I just would have tried it and be like, is either hidden or not, and then like make a funny post about it or in my stories type of thing. Be like I got the bag that says Don Julio and Popeyes, and then turn around and then be like, let it go, because in 24 hours it's gonna be gone anyway. So yeah, but I think it was, when you think about it that way, the way he hyped it up or the way he went about it, yes, he did it. He did it for the clout. He did it to get exposure. And if he is a big YouTuber, he has to go with the latest trend. And that's what I think a lot of people forget. It's like, you don't change, but the things around you as a conglomerate changes.
Yeah. Let's go to the next segment. WWJD, what would Jesus do? So, also in this situation, what is the most ethically and morally correct thing to do? Again, I don't want to attack nobody who is like that, but in the same breath, all I'm saying is, you know, if you want to go try the chicken sandwich, I mean, he wouldn't have tried the Don Julio chicken sandwich, but all I'm well, like I said, really don't matter because there's no alcohol in it. So it really is really just a flavor, and they just did the collab. But of course, they knew somebody was gonna go get that mocktail and say, I'm sure that mocktail mixes well with Don Julio.
I'm pretty 100%.
So I'm pretty sure somebody went to go get the did like Don Julio, poured it in the drink. But I think in this situation, the I guess most ethically and morally correct thing to do, more so, is just to, you know, if you want to go eat the food, that's fine. But in the same breath, I guess I would just think that, what do I want to say? I don't really think nothing is wrong with going to get that. I just think because I would go get it if I lived there. Again, I'm just more so saying that I think we should watch doing it for the gram. And
Do it for the vine. Hey.
Yeah, doing it for the vine, doing it for the gram, doing it for the two, because like I said, we just feeling the stereotype, because you can't tell me that they didn't have black folks in mind when they did this collab. You can't tell me.
I believe, yeah, I would say that because as I think about it though, it's how many people can afford Don Julio?
Right.
So in this case, Jesus already turned water and water into wine, whatever. So it's just kind of like, yo, I can go to Popeyes and I got Don Julio, yo. You know, if I go and I don't have a cup with me right now, but I would say like if I had this cup and I left Popeyes, mind you, it's a live by citizen just going in, and I came out with a cup. And I say, yeah, that Don Julio, shoot, it got me leaning, bending this thing. People gonna be like, I can go to Popeyes, get a free drink and food, so I'm lit and I'm full. And so then what happens is that builds, like you said again, on the audience, on the target audience, which could be the poor and uneducated, the social media status of a person is like, yo, they in everything. They go try all like the food critics and different things of that nature. Oh, we want to get them too. And if you paint the image of people that like of things that people want to do and want to be and want to go, bro, you own something. You hidden.
But I think ultimately it's just funny because I know somebody was like, we finna go make a party out of this. Even if they ain't a content creator, they was like, we finna go make a party out of this. We finna get the Don Julio. We probably gonna take shots in the car, go get it, eat in the car, you know, pour it in the bottle in, because somebody ruined it for everybody. It's probably 1 or 2 stores that allowed it, and then when somebody start tripping, they said, "No, you can't bring no bottles in here because they're gonna start tripping."
These niggas, they start tripping.
WSMD, what should men do in this situation? I would just say drink responsibly if you're gonna go get it, because again, obviously there's no alcohol, but in reality, someone's gonna bring the alcohol like he did with them. Or if somebody might be walking around pouring shots, you might say batty shot o'clock, get you 2-3 shots with it. I don't know. But all I'm gonna say is just don't feed into the stereotype. That's my only suggestion for that.
I think so too. Be responsible. And don't follow the trend. Be a leader. Like if you're gonna go try it, but it doesn't need as big of a spotlight as anything else, because like I said, Don Julio, they was like, yo, how can we make, you know, tax season's gonna come up, how can we make a whole bunch of money to cover this? Shoot, let's do it. All right, we write it off on our taxes. But we don't look, I won't. What would Jesus do? But anyways, I digress.
We move to the next one now. All right, now let's go to the next topic. All right, so at the Grammys that aired last night, had a great show, apparently. Well, no, I watched some of it. But Babyface, legendary producer Babyface, was snubbed by some young reporters who probably gonna get fired after this clip because they wanted to see Chappell Roan. Now, Chappell Roan is a singer. I had never heard of her, white lady, and she's from Southeast Missouri, so she's not from St. Louis, but like another part of Missouri. I think she said Southeast. Anyway, yeah. But she performed last night, and she's like a big star apparently, but I never heard of her. But she doesn't cater to my target audience, so that's why I've never heard of her. But anyway, Babyface clearly didn't cater to their target audience either. So let's go ahead and share the screen and watch this clip of these reporters cutting Babyface off.
We're seeing more of a fusion, and we're seeing people blend the genre with pop, blend the genre with hip hop and rock as well.
Yes, I think it's interesting.
Chappell.
Yes, I see that. Okay.
I'm really sorry about interrupting Babyface earlier. Chappell Roan had come up, and there was a lot of commotion as there is on these carpets. But I'm a big Babyface fan, and as are we all, and so I just wanted to say that I really apologize. But thank you so much for having me, you guys.
Well, her name's Chappell Roan. I said Chappell Roan. See, I clearly don't know lady. All right, so let's get into the first segment, which is, what does this have to do with mental health? So now we always on this podcast, since this podcast caters to young men, we have to speak from the male perspective. Babyface, I'm sure he was offended in that moment. Is it right to be offended or feel away in a moment if somebody, of course, not hold on to the offense, but to feel, you know, he been in this industry a long time. He'd been critiqued many a times, but to be a legend, have award shows dedicated to you, you know what I'm saying? Getting millions of shout outs all throughout these years when people have gotten Grammys and BET awards and all these things from literally the greatest, some of who aren't even alive anymore. And for these young, you know, women of not, yeah, they weren't black. I was trying to say it professionally right, but I couldn't do it. But anyway, these white women who, you know, saw somebody who caters to them and then basically snubbed you, like, all right, you can go bye, Babyface. Of course, they came back and did the politically correct thing, which was to apologize. But they knew they messed up. Now, Babyface handled that great. Babyface was like, oh, he said, go handle that. You know, because clearly y'all don't know who I am, but Babyface was like, I'm about to shout. He said, I know who I am. So, what's your take on the situation?
I mean, he handled it like a grown man. Like, do you? You know what I'm saying? You don't know no better. I definitely say that's how we got to start really carrying ourselves, not letting too much really affect us and how we move. We just got to move with grace, respect, and respect is one of those things that's earned. It's not necessarily always given. But at that moment, like he got my respect because he could have definitely went off on him. You know what I'm saying? But when you've been so many years in the game and you've done some good things, bro, you don't really have to worry about nothing. You just, hey, appreciate it. Hey, you know, you learn it. But if they do get fired, I mean, they probably deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes life lessons hit you or bite you in the rear, you know what I'm saying? And then makes you think, okay, I should have did that. I should have really got into it. Or they shouldn't have even did it in the beginning at all.
Right. And it's just crazy because I know they got chewed up and that's memorialized forever.
That part.
What would I do in this situation? Honestly, he handled it the best. I'm gonna be honest. I would like to have handled like that. I don't think I would have snapped or turned up, but I think my body language might have been a little stank. But he was just real like, go ahead, you know, do you. He didn't show no emotion at all. And he honestly probably didn't care. But, you know, I probably would have showed emotion unintentionally in that moment. I ain't gonna lie.
For me, I probably would have been like, I was like, listen, I'm gonna ask a question first. Be like, you know who I am? I just want to make sure you know who I am, right? And then pop quiz. What was my best year? Because if you interviewed me, that means you did your homework on me. And so like make them think like, dang, I really like my job, but I ain't do my homework. So am I really fit for the job?
Yeah.
And it's just like you just turn it around, and so that when you turn it to the other side, it's like anybody from this point on, I have to be on point. I have to have my shit together so fucking tight that at least if I don't know the answer, let me find out real quick. And I pull out my phone and boom, boom, boom. Oh, it's this. Then I'm like, hey, you know, I'm just 21. I don't know no better. And you know, and or talk to him off camera. Like, hey, I appreciate what you did. You know what I'm saying? And whoop, whoop, whoop. That way, hey, man, listen, y'all. Shout out Babyface real quick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Came back with it, brought him back again. But like, yo, come here. Listen, I just want y'all to know that we family. You know, bring it in with the, I'm talking about the reporters to him.
Yeah.
They should have been trying to give respect to him and what he's done. And just to be in the vicinity, to breathe the same air, you should be grateful because you didn't get your job or you didn't get to the Grammys by, you know, osmosis. You had to work for it. So
Yeah.
the company thought that you was a better fit for the job, but then 9 times out of 10, you ain't. I digress.
WWJD, what would Jesus do? Honestly, I think he would have handled it like, you know, Babyface. If you don't, Jesus not gonna force stuff on you. So if you think like, I mean, we do it in regular life. You know how many times we lose interest in things. We could be praying and we get a text message. We stop praying, guilty. We stop praying, looking at responding to the text message. You know what I mean? So when something better happens, and although we don't want to say it like that, we have to be honest. Sometimes we think things are better than God right now. You know, dang, game on. I'll pray later. Dang, I got a text. I'll pray later. I'm hungry. I'll read the Bible later. So, you know, I think we all have been there. And I think that if he was in that situation, if, you know, an ethically, morally correct thing to do, one ethically, morally correct thing to do is, you know, people losing interest, don't force them to pay attention to you. Know your worth, but also if it was from what would Jesus do, he would have did the same thing. Like, all right, cool, bet. Well, all right, you come back to me when you're ready. But see, and Babyface, I believe if they would have said, "Hey, Babyface, can we try that again?" I believe he would have been on some stuff like, "Yeah, we can try it again." I do. He maybe not, but I think he would have.
I think Jesus would have been like Adam and Eve, don't eat the fruit. And it would have been like he would some like scenario like that. It's like you turn on me, you summon me to talk, make you always provoke you to think. That's how I think about like certain things. In when you put it in perspective of, hey, what would Jesus do? Well, Jesus gonna do the right thing. I mean, he's gonna be like, yo, so this is how you treat me? Sure. Because the blessings in front of you. And when I walk out, don't try to catch the tassel or whatever. But I think he would have handled it the same way. We're like, all right, cool. Bet. When you're ready to pray.
Yeah.
GD.
Right. I believe if they would have came back, he would have been like, it's cool. And I'm sure they accepted the apology, but I ain't gonna lie, they still probably fired. WSMD, what should men do? So in this situation, again, know your worth to where you're not offended by someone's ignorance of you and your work. Because there are gonna be people, you could be the biggest star. Your podcast could blow up tomorrow. You're gonna go somewhere, somebody not gonna know who you are. They're gonna be like, who are you? Oh, okay. And then you might be tempted to get offended because it's like everywhere you go, you stopped. Everywhere you go, you in here, don't nobody know you. Now you're gonna be like, what you mean you don't know me? You know what I'm saying? But for a legend to be so humble, I think we could all take notes, especially those that's upcoming in the industries we're trying to be in, and for those that's already there. I think that's just a lesson, and hopefully y'all took the notes because the lesson was there. Anything else you want to add before we go to the final topic?
That's just I just add on to what you said. It's also that's how we should be teaching our younger generations, and that's how we should be teaching like our homies, like our circle. We should have people astute young men like that. That's it, man.
But he's from an older generation, so things that he learned, you know, these ones ain't learning.
Right, but what I'm saying is, in to bring it all together, they need
Yeah.
to take that right there. Some things you don't have to say. Like I'll just say, for instance, you can walk into a room. Your presence is already felt when you walk in that room. If you never walked in that room with your good presence, or with, as I say, with that shit on, knowing that you him, then they not gonna. They be like, oh shit, he ain't nobody. No, I want to know who he is. Who is he?
Yeah.
Let me be. Let me get close to that right there.
Yeah.
Let me tap that shoulder. So I say, just take a little bit of it and say, hey, you know what? Hey, he taught something without saying words. You know what I'm saying? It's like how your mama looked at you when you got in trouble, but she ain't say nothing, but you knew you was in trouble. He did something to show us that everything doesn't deserve a response, and every response is not really needed when you him.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely. All right, y'all. We're going to the final topic today. We're going back to the Grammys. Well, at
Go
least
to that Grammys.
we're going to the red carpet as Kanye West, aka Ye, was on the carpet with his girlfriend who was reportedly nude on the carpet. So we're gonna share our screen and we're gonna go through that. And then we're gonna talk about it. We ain't talked about Ye on the live stream in a minute. So let's go ahead and look at this video real quick and let's get to talking. All right, let's get into the first part, which is what does this have to do with mental health? Now, here's the thing with Kanye. Study of how we act, think, and feel, right? I have been an advocate for him for many years and defending him. And, one thing about me is I could be advocate for you or have supported you and know when you're wrong. And with him, I blame him, but I also know he's suffering mentally. So, even like y'all hate to bring him up, but Cat Williams said y'all can't put him in the category of special. And then when he start doing stuff that's on the spectrum, be like, nah, that ain't it. When you put him on that category, so you know what I'm saying. You can't get mad at the person who's, Elon Musk is the greatest example of that because he's on the spectrum, like really on the spectrum. Like he's, the ones that are brilliant on paper, like can probably figure out probably every theory known to man, but then socially just off. Now, I'm not saying he's Elon Musk, but what I'm saying is he's clearly mentally not there. And it seems based on his history, he has a fetish of having people maybe fantasize about the woman that he's dating. We saw that with Kim. She was always naked, not so much on red carpets with him sometimes. Then it was the Julia Fox, and now it's the Bianca girl, where she wasn't naked, but she had something like over her, but basically naked, nude. It seems like he seemed like he has some type of fetish or something for that. What's your take on
it? First of all, I'm flabbergasted. Let's start there. And
okay.
Was she actually, that was her actual breast and everything out?
Well, it was like something over it, but basically it was like the same exact skin, the tone of her skin. And it was like, you could see her nipples and you can see that's why they tried to, that's why they covered it. Cause like she had clothes on, but barely.
Okay.
It was like them band-aids, you know, they made band-aids to match people's skin tone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that.
Okay.
So it was something there, but you could still see the prints of everything.
All right. Well, like I said, I think it was a statement. I think it was just like let you know I'm still here and I'm still relevant. I also think that mentally, any man that loves his queen or woman or whatever like that would rather be more conservative. But when you change, like, think about it. When you change your name, you went from Kanye to Ye. To Ye. You know what I'm saying? It's so many different things that you can call a person, but I feel like it represents every era in his life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So just it's just I guess, like I say, it's just part of him for the most part, and she was down with it. So it's like this: if you for the shits, he's with the shits. Oh, there it is.
What would I do in this situation? So, like I said, I'm not against women that you dating looking sexy, but you just being out naked. Because if you can look at the pictures of Julia Fox, she was naked all the time. It's like he be fully clothed, and I mean clothed up all the way, and then they be naked. So it's like people, you know, be having weird fetishes. So how would you let your girl wear something like that? Say for instance, because you know it was his idea. Say for instance, it was her idea. Would you let your girl say, "Hey, I'm wearing this"? Like, say y'all going out, and then she come in the room with some combat boots on and an outfit like that. What would be your first reaction?
Cancel. We canceled. That's it. It's over. By yourself. You buy yourself for yourself on that one. And just having the thing with Kanye just actually doing that is just crazy. And if it was her idea, yeah, it would be like, well, are you serious? You gonna embarrass me like that? Like it we want to be you want you to be conservative so that nobody thinks like let the wondering minds wonder and let the eyes just be like, oh, okay, that's a beautiful X, Y, and Z. Keep it like that. That'd be all.
But now you just said you told on yourself. You said making a statement. So it's 2 points I'm gonna pick on with you. You just
Uh-oh. Come on.
making a statement. So if he was proud of that, you talking about some conservative, we being conservative. So he was proud to look at that. Like look at it, look at it. But he's also been known to make statements since he first came out. So what if she was like, and say you want to make a statement? She like, this is a statement right here. What would be your response to that?
Being in that position, like, yay, well, I couldn't do it. I mean, I ain't gonna rock with it, man. My standards, your standards are different. You know, if at that moment a young lady that is supposed to be a representation of me wants to do some shit like that, you ain't for me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just the same as, like I say, about holding yourself like to be like an accountable person, right? They hold him to be what, a musical lyricist, dropping hot music, the latest clothes, whatever that may be, the latest everything, and whatever the case may be. And when everything else is going, it's just undeniably disrespectful and unethical.
Now, well, let's go to the next segment. WWJD. So this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna start off with it first. So when it comes to making a statement, I'm all for statements, and it's okay that everybody like what they like. Not saying it's right. it's clear you have a fetish for this type of thing. That's clear. I mean, I don't want to assume, but but my statement is, and say for instance, you didn't have a fetish. Say for instance, you did just want to see her look like that publicly. I would really have to drill in why. I would really ask that question. I would really sit you down like Gayle King or Larry Reid used to do back in the day. And I would be just like, why? Why? You're not going to get away. We're going to keep asking you why. In this situation, the most ethically, morally correct thing to do, again, I'm not for, sex appeal, because if you look good, you're going to look good in, and I say this, no disrespect to like Muslim religion, but it's some beautiful women who be covered up all the way. Still, you can tell they look good. So you don't have to be legit naked. I mean, if you want to show a little something, that's one thing, let your legs out, but to just bare it all, it's just kind of like, I don't think ethically, morally, because we can't say what would Jesus do from the angle of him having a wife, because he did not. But we can say the ethically and morally correct thing to do is to be like, no. However, this is the flip. If you're an OnlyFans man, or you someone in that industry, then
Playboy.
I could say,
Playboy, the guy, Hugh Hefner.
Yeah.
We could see Hugh Hefner doing something like that.
Yeah.
Because he's the play,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that would make sense. If you like going to the Adult Actor Awards, cool. But you going to the Grammys, you know what the Grammys is. And granted, even back in the day, the Grammys was always for those fashion pieces and statements. And Ye probably said, we didn't seen it all, but you ain't seen this.
Hey. You gotta be, I think one of the things too, he wants to always be different. You never want to be categorized as the general population.
Yeah.
So I believe that's where he was at with it. I'm always gonna be different. I'm gonna be this. Boom. Not to say I feel like the younger version of him, no disrespect to anybody, was the better version of him. I feel like the older he got, the more, things started to go further than they should have.
I still don't believe it's 100% him. I'm not gonna say it's a clone, but you can be in your body, but not be in your right mind. So I just don't think he's in his right mind.
Elaborate that.
Huh?
Elaborate on that.
I think that he's got some mental health stuff that he never got checked out and not dealing with. And I believe, and I can't prove that, but it's just going off of what we've seen. And, it could just be him acting. I got to get both sides of the ball. He could just be acting. I don't believe so. I believe he's mentally unwell. And I believe that he, could it be a clone? Let me tell you something. Anything is possible. Trust me, anything possible. But I don't. It's just something's not. Yeah, something's not right. Something in the buttermilk ain't clean.
Hey, sometimes in life, all you can do is just like eat the meat, spit out the bones. So just
and elaborate on that.
It's just at this moment, right?
Yeah.
He pretty much he got his way to fame by being unique and different. So when he his a musical lyricist, a solid engineer, solid producer. Remember, he's eating that. Boom. Okay. The people that don't like it, guess what? I got something that you will like. Here's my clothes. That's the bones part. You didn't like my music, but you like my clothes. And remember when he lost the Adidas thing and turn around, guess who wanted him back? Again. So they was like, yo, we don't like this. We got a bone to pick with you.
Yeah.
Or we part our ways. He was like, I'm still going to be great. I'm still going to be good. I'm still going to do what I can personally call myself out to be different.
Yeah.
And as he did that, he was like, yo, I'm still eating it, but yo, I ain't worried about you haters, you non-sayers, whatever y'all want to come for me, keep coming. Because guess what? I'm going to keep eating. And whatever don't taste right, whatever I don't like, boom, the hell with it. So, I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily know his mental status or state, What I will say is that he's him. Because all you can be is you. And sometimes when you have that, like that, I feel like that lamb life does something to you. You know what I'm saying? Just hypothetically, me and you, we're popular. I don't think the as much as the Izzy that's here now, I feel like it'll be kind of like a different Izzy, not too far different, but it'll be a bolder statement of who Izzy is. It's like, yo, I used to do that back in the day. Talk to my assistant. They'll get you the right answers or the PDF that you need. But I appreciate you, man. Hey, support. Izzy Ice. You a jeweler. Got all that other stuff. And same thing with me. It's like, hey, podcast is top 5. All right, I made it. Some young cat wants to interview me or be on my podcast. I like, listen, I love to interview you. I appreciate you for the support. Hey, get with my assistant, my VA or my team will reach out to you. I need your email, da da da. You know what I'm saying? And certain people will rock with it, certain people won't. Oh, you think because you this, you Izzy Ice, oh, you JR Rich, Let's Talk Podcast, y'all did all this, y'all so high and mighty. No, it's not that. It's that now we not only have a higher calling for what we're doing, it just changes the way how we move. Yeah, I'm a people person. Yeah, you might be a people person, but guess what? There's somebody always in our minds thinking like a CEO. There's always somebody out there working 10 times harder than we are, doing something that we are not doing that's getting them one step closer to that next level. Or that one interview that goes viral, or a few interviews that go viral, or the Izzy Ice chain and this, that, and the third goes viral. But it's that one person out there to do something different that can steal your shine. So then I think that in Kanye's mindset or around him, there's always somebody not like him.
Yeah.
But there's somebody that can come out and do something bold, and now they own. Now, guess who's not the hot topic? Doesn't matter how much money. Guess who's not the hot topic? Him. Then at that same time, it's like, okay, so I got to do something different. This will go on in that book of the world's
Guinness World Records.
Yeah, crazy. It'd be like nobody has ever done like this, and if somebody ever tried to redo this, they look at him as a joke. Like, oh, you did that. You know what I'm saying? So I think overall, it was good, man. He did what he had to do. They did what they had to do. It's like, I want to show you also, too. She probably wanted to show, hey, I'm with the shits with you. I know where you at. I've been here. Remember, I think they was workout partners or workout something, or she was something to the company. And I've been where you going. I'm here. Let's do it. I'm crazy about you. You crazy about me. The world is fucked up about who? Nobody. Because guess what? I don't consider myself a part of the world. I consider myself higher than X, Y, and Z. How can we do it? And if a person is filling your cup or fueling you to be with the shits, come on now.
I will say this. I agree with that. But I will say this to add to before we go to the final segment. A lot of, I know, believers or Christians would really criticize Kanye when he was on his like Jesus tip, which I don't believe it was fake. I just believe, again, he's all over the place. It's his mind the way it is. And now he's left the faith because he said, I want to say, I don't want to misquote, but because God didn't save his marriage. But my question to that one was, did he ever put it together in the first place? That's one. Two, I don't like when Christians, so many people say, oh, I don't support Kanye because 1 minute you're doing this, then you're doing Jesus stuff, and 1 minute you're doing this, and then you're doing God stuff. But then I look at y'all, and if somebody put a camera on y'all life, what would they say about y'all? Don't get it twisted. There's some people who really sold out living right. I've seen them, and I know some personally. However, it's a lot of people that's not. And the main ones that's not are the biggest critics. So it's like, You on here preaching on Threads and on Instagram and on TikTok, and then in real life you talk about people all day, or you be cracking on people, or you the biggest critic. So it's like we got to watch talking about Kanye. We got to look at our own mirror first. So I'm gonna say that and go to the final segment. WSMD, what should men do? If you are in a situation like this and you want your woman to dress like that and act like that, and you're not a porn star, I'm going to wonder what's wrong with you, as far as what is it that you like, or you trying to fulfill. Now, if you at the Adult Film Awards, go crazy. That's the industry. You the only fan, man. You selling content, $10 Snapchat today. Cool. I don't care. That's the lifestyle you live. But if you a regular person, I'm gonna be like, gotta wonder what we doing. I gotta wonder what we doing. And I just don't feel like, as a dude, you should want your woman out here looking naked, unless one, you have a fetish, or two, you are an adult film actor. And yeah, what else you got to say about that?
I mean, I can not disagree with you, man. As I say, sometimes it goes like saying a woman should be seen and not heard. You know what I'm saying? Just in that context, not anything else, just that content. It's like we already know what, like, she looks good. She's with you. Y'all look good together. You know what I'm saying? You are considered a power couple. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I thought he was married to her too, by the chance.
I thought he was married to Julia Fox. I think this the new one.
Okay.
No, I did not think. I noticed the new one. I think him and Julia Fox was married. I don't know.
Okay. But like I said, you shouldn't want to broadcast it out to the world. You should want to keep everything to your, like, within the home, or leave it to the imagination of other people. So yeah, man, I like I say, I agree with you, man. I can't even. It's just like it's some do's in this world and some don'ts in this world, and that was definitely don't do.
All right. So before we go today, tell the people again what's the name of your podcast and where they can find it.
Podcast is called Real Shit Let's Talk Podcast. Man, we can on all social media platforms. That's Real Shit Let's Talk Podcast. You can also listen to the audio versions of my podcast on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Music, Google Music, everything. Hey, check me out. Tap in.
He said, check them out, tap in. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to another Mental Man Monday. PSA signing out. Always remember, keep your head up like your neck hurt. Remember who you are. Make your mind up. Don't let it make you. And remember, as always, I love us for real.